What's crack-a-lackin'? Welcome in to My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Show.
Welcome into episode 180, everybody. I am your host, SleezBall. Today's episode for the Week 15 Fantasy Football Playoffs is going to be my top 30 tight end tier rankings. Now, I missed George Kittle and Colby Parkinson. I'm not going to put them on the rankings, but I would have had Kittle at 1 this week, and he didn't smash against a great matchup versus the Rams. That was very ugly with the rain. Now, before we dive into it, guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up, smash that subscription. Helps me out a ton. You guys have been absolutely amazing this season. I cannot thank you enough for all the support. It's been absolutely crazy. You can also turn on the bell. I will be live all weekend long. We'll have different content creators, different shows. We'll be live on Big Draft Energy shows tonight. Then tomorrow morning before the kickoff, 7:30 to about 9:30, maybe a 2-hour stream, taking all the questions for Week 15 Fantasy Football Playoffs. And if you guys cannot make any of the live streams, one of my goals is to always answer every single question you drop in the comments to help you get to the point we're at now. I love seeing all the comments you guys drop saying, thank you for helping me make it to the playoffs. Thank you for this. It means the world. That is why I do this content creation. That is why you guys come back and support. And that is what drives me to be better and better and better and make better content every single time. So if you guys want to check out all my other rankings, they're out. Smash starts, all that is out. This is the last video of the week. This will be my tight end rankings top 30, and let's dive into it, guys. So if you guys are new to the channel, this is my tight end board here for Week 15. Baller tier at the top, must start tight ends tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5. The injuries at the tight end position have been piling up massively heading here into the fantasy playoffs. Taysom Hill out for the season. Dallas Goedert, IR. I mean, you have Theo Johnson, who I was high on as a rookie. He's out. Njoku is out this week. Evan Ingram is out for the season. And Will Dissly pops his shoulder. Now we're seeing Stone Smart. So this is going to be a really, really rough tight end week. We're going to try and dive through all the rankings that we can here and nail it perfectly. And then you have George Kittle and Colby Parkinson, who already played because I missed it before Thursday, but I will have my rankings out before next Thursday next week. Now, starting off with tight end 1, Trey McBride. He's going to get his first touchdown of the season on the year. And it's crazy that he's still the tight end 2 overall in fantasy football without a touchdown, or tight end 3 right now because George Kittle passed him because he played. But he'll be back to tight end 2 when it goes. And he's 20 points behind Brock Bowers. So he could literally be the tight end 1 in fantasy football without a single touchdown. Now you're going to get the New England Patriots this week. Versus the tight end, they rank 17th. They give up 11.8 points. They're 28th in the red zone versus the tight end. So very high touchdown upside here. 49.6 yards they give up on the season at the tight end position, which is middle of the pack. But you're going to have Chris Gonzalez on Marvin Harrison Jr. This is going to be Trey McBride smash week. He's going to get a touchdown this week. I'm calling it right now. Tight end number 2 is going to be right behind him. Brock Bowers, the tight end 1 on the season. But we had a little aberration last week that's a little worrisome here with Brock Bowers. So, you know that Aiden O'Connell, like if you looked at my wide receiver video, we don't know if he's going to be out there or not. He had that knee injury, and he was supposed to be out, maybe IR, and now he's trying to fight to come back to try and get his job heading into the next season. I don't think it's going to matter either way. But what you see is Desmond Ridder comes in, and all of a sudden Michael Mayer is getting every single look, which is weird as it gets to me. I still think Brock Bowers is still going to be obviously in my top tight ends at number 2, but I've just got to see the second game here and see how it goes, because if it starts to look like it's any other way, it could be Trey McBride taking tight end 1 overall this season by the end of the season. And when you're looking at the Raiders, they get the Atlanta Falcons this week. The Atlanta Falcons versus the tight end right now, they're very good. They rank 5th overall. They give up 10.2 points. They're 10th in the red zone. So the top 7 to 8 defense versus the tight end, 43.4 yards, which is middle of the pack there, and a 20% chance of a touchdown. But Brock Bowers is always a touchdown machine. This guy's an animal. I'm going to keep him at tight end 2. Tight end number 3 on the week is going to be Travis Kelce and the Kansas City Chiefs, who are going to be in a matchup here where it's going to be kind of different, right? Because you're at Cleveland in the cold, but Cleveland's been hemorrhaging points across the board, but they are good versus the tight end. So Cleveland right now ranks 9th versus the tight end, giving up 10.3, 12th in the red zone, so about a top 10 to 11 D all the way around, 45.5 yards, middle of the pack, and a 20% chance of a touchdown. But when you're Travis Kelce, you're always starting him no matter what. He's had 9 points, 13 points, 12 points, 20, 20, 20. He's been, catching fire since all the injuries. But Hollywood Brown might be back out there next week, so that might take a couple targets away. I don't see it taking away that much. But still, it's going to be a smash matchup for Travis Kelce, no matter what. You're starting this guy every single time. Tight end number 4 for me is going to be TJ Hawkinson and the Minnesota Vikings, who are surprisingly going to be a possible playoff Super Bowl contender here. I mean, they just keep winning. It's absolutely nuts. But what's a little like strange to me here is like the usage of TJ Hawkinson. So it has gone up, right? So he comes back in week 9. He's played 45, 46, 48, then 68, 64, 62. So it started to drop down from the revamp. So I'm hoping at some point here we get to see him back to his 80% tight end share usage, and he'll be an absolute phenomenal play. He's still going to be a phenomenal player. He's still going to be a top 6 tight end probably the rest of the way. But you get the Chicago Bears this week, and the Chicago Bears defense has just been getting gashed, run game and tight end heavy over the past couple weeks here. So they ranked 20th versus the tight end, giving up 12.7, 23rd in the red zone, so very high touchdown upside for TJ Hawkinson, and 62.6 yards to the tight end a game and 20% chance of a touchdown, but 62.6 is bottom 10. So you can expect another big game here in a possible shootout. Last time these teams played, it was very close and very high scoring. So that was 3 weeks ago. So here we go. Time to get crazy. Tight end number 5. And you can go nuts and drop all the comments you want and tell me everything about Kyle Pitts and how he hasn't done anything in past 2 weeks. I know all of this, right? So, but we're going to talk about a couple different things here of why I like Kyle Pitts a lot this weekend. And it's also been a Kirk Cousins struggle. So it's not really just Kyle Pitts. So he's only had 2.4 points in the past 2 weeks, right? 8 targets in the past 2 weeks, 1 catch for 14 yards. None of that looks good. You get the Las Vegas Raiders, guys. They're 30th on the season versus the tight end, giving up 15.9 points, 30th in the red zone, giving up 4.1, 67.2 yards, which is 3rd worst in the NFL, and a 50% chance of a touchdown, which is 2nd worst in the NFL. Now, when we look at the past 4 weeks, that's on the season. This is the past 4 weeks. So on the season, that number is at 15.9 for the Raiders, right? This is the past 4 weeks versus the tight end. They're giving up 17.28, which is even worse. And they're also giving up 331 yards, which is even worse number. So if you take that, times it, divide it by 4, they're giving up about 75, 78 yards a game here to the tight end position. This is going to be Kyle Pitts' week. I absolutely love him this week, and I don't care what people say. Smash start Kyle Pitts this week. Tight end number 6 is going to be Sam Laporta, and no way, shape, or form, in any way you look at it, versus the Buffalo Bills is it a good matchup versus the tight end. But that is not what I am looking at here. What I'm looking at here is the over-under at 54.5 points. Whereas the points are going to fly. You want the players in this game. You want to start everyone in this game. You just saw them go 80 points with the Ram 40-40 in that game. So, I mean, you're starting everyone here. But when you're looking at the Buffalo Bills defense right now, they give up 10.2. They rank 6th versus the tight end. They are very good. They do rank 20th in the red zone, so the touchdown upside is a little higher there. They only give up 39.2 yards, which is top 3, so they're very good versus the tight end at 20%. But like I said, you have to worry about Amon-Ra, Jamison Williams taking the top off, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. All the weapons around him. I don't really rank the tight end defense when it comes to Sam Laporta, and he's catching a little fire here. Tight end number 7, he has just been on a tear as of late, and on your phone right now when you're looking at it, it's going to show red versus the Philadelphia Eagles, right? So here's how we look at this. The Philadelphia Eagles right now versus the tight end, they rank 12th overall, giving up 10.7, but in the red zone they rank 29th, 3rd worst, and they give up 41.2 yards, which is middle of the pack, and a 30% chance of a touchdown. But that's on the season. What you want to do is look at the past 4 weeks, because that's what's been happening recently. So on the past 4 weeks, the Philadelphia Eagles have been giving up 16.35 to the tight end, which is 6-point average higher than 10.7. And you're also going to have no George Pickens, who's already ruled out. So Fryman is going to be the focal point of the passing game here. And they've given up 320 yards in the past 4 games. So thinking about that right there, you're already looking at 80 yards a game to the tight end. They're probably going to be playing from behind at Philly in the cold. Short passes are what's going to happen here, because you have no George Pickens to take the top off. Maybe Calvin Austin can get loose deep, but still, you have to love Pat Frymuth in this game. And don't look at the red on your sleeper or Yahoo or ESPN, whatever it is, and think it's a bad matchup, because it is not a bad matchup. That is not how fantasy football works. People panic on those colors. I wish that they would just take those away and let us content creators tell you how it goes every time. So, tight end number 8 on the week is going to be Mark Andrews. We're going to grab both. I'm going to talk about Isaiah Likely down here. I don't think you're really going to start Isaiah Likely anyways, but I have him at 25. So when you're the Baltimore Ravens here, this game, the only reason I'm worried about Mark Andrews, I've been worried about, Lamar Jackson, I've been worried about Zay Flowers, is you're playing the New York Giants. The New York Giants are terrible. This team is done. They can't move the ball. You got Tommy DeVito back out there. It's just been absolutely awful to watch. But they're very good versus the tight end. They rank third. They give up 8.9 points, fifth in the red zone, so top 6 to 70 and 40.1 yards, which is top 5, and a 20% chance of a touchdown. If he doesn't score early, I just think this is going to be a King Henry 25 touch game, 100 plus yards, 2 TDs. I don't think it's really going to be close. I mean, the spread is absolutely insane in this game, right? So here's another thing you have to look at. This is minus 16 and a half for the Ravens. That is one of the biggest spreads I've seen in ages. And like that's why I'm looking at it like I don't really like the passing volume in this game, but still I'm going to put Mark Andrews at 8, hoping he finds the end zone early in the game. Tight end number 9, one of my favorite plays of the week is Hunter Henry. Now he's going to get the Arizona Cardinals here. You know that the Patriots season is done. You know that the Cardinals are fighting for their playoff life, right? But Hunter Henry in the past 3 weeks, guys, has been averaging 9 targets a game. He's been averaging 65 plus yards. That is what you want at a tight end. I know the Arizona Cardinals, they're 8th versus the tight end. They give up 10.3. That's a very good defense. 16th in the red zone, so about, a top 11 to 12 D overall versus the tight end. 43.9 yards, middle of the pack, 20% chance of a touchdown. But this is Drake May's go-to guy. Their wide receiver core has not been good all year. You could say Boutte, Polk, all of them, whatever you want. They're all young. They're all developing. There's no real leader, stud wide receiver out there to help. So it's just been the leader of Hunter Henry at tight end. And he's been a top 11 tight end on the year. This guy's a startable play every single week because he's going to give you a solid floor and enough volume to start every single week. I love Hunter Henry this week, even in a tough matchup. Tight end number 10. The overtime GOAT of last week, Jonnu Smith, saved the Dolphins season in overtime, but he had nothing before overtime, guys. He had 0 catches, 0 targets, nothing till overtime. Then he got 13 points in 1 drive. Absolutely monstrous to save everybody that started him. Now you get the Houston Texans this week. This is why I have Jonnu lower. They rank 4th versus the tight end, giving up 9.5. That's a tough matchup, but you do have Tyreek and Waddle. So I always look at defenses differently. When you have Tyreek and Waddle, they have to worry about A-Chain out the backfield as an absolute receiving monster. It makes it tough to stop everything, which leave Jonnu open. That's why I still rank him in the top 10, even in a very tough matchup. The Houston Texans also only give up 37 yards, which is top 3. So very, very tough matchup for Jonnu, but I expect it to be a shootout game. So I still like him in my top 10 because you still get the advantage of having all the other wide receivers draw all the attention. Tight end number 11, and this is the same as my Terry McLaurin talk here. Zach Ertz, I fear a very, very ugly game script here. You're getting the New Orleans Saints. Their season is done. Derek Carr is out. Jake Haener is in. You're at New Orleans in the Dome. There's no weather here. JD5 is going to be electric, but how electric is going to be? Are the Saints really going to keep up in this game? That's one of my worries I have. Zach Ertz has been a great floor play tight end of 18, 15, 12 all season long. He's a top 10 tight end. I mean, if you have him, you're probably starting him. It's just a little worrisome about how this game script goes here. And the Saints versus the tight end, they are actually 14th, giving up 11 points, 3rd in the red zone, so very good there, but 55.2 yards. So you have to like that. That's about, right around Zach Ertz's average on the year, about 40 yards per game. So you have to love that, look right there. So I'm going to keep him at 11, but again, I'm tempering my expectations on this game with Terry McLaurin as well, too. I did that in my wide receiver video just because it's going to be a tough game script to read here. Tight end number 12, Tucker Kraft, who went from a touchdown-dependent tight end to all of a sudden really athletic, really great-looking athlete out there. Absolutely crazy. I mean, 10 points, 13 points, 13 points past 3 games. Targets have been at about 5 a game. Receiving yards have been at about 50 a game, and he's had 2 touchdowns out of the past 3. And you get the Seattle Seahawks. This is a very plus matchup for Tucker Kraft. They ranked 23rd, giving up 13 points. 17th in the red zone, 58.7 yards, which is bottom 10, and 20% touchdown, chance for a tight end here. But I don't have him ranked higher than the rest because Romeo Doubs is back this week. And Romeo Doubs is like that glue possession guy that opens it up more for Jaden Reed. So if you go back and look at the beginning of the season when Jaden Reed was a top 5 wide receiver, Romeo Doubs was out there. So I think it's gonna be a different look with Tucker Kraft in this game. I still like him as a definite start tight end. I just don't put him higher than the others because you don't know if it's gonna be Christian Watson, Dobbs, Wicks, Reed, or Kraft. It's just tough to predict. So I'm still gonna keep him in my top 12. Number 13, and I really love this matchup a lot, so much, but it's just the Carolina Panthers, man. Jake Ferguson. So came back last week, played 77% of the snaps, didn't have a great game, had 6.2 points. I had him as a smash play. Obviously, it didn't work out. I mean, you saw Shoemaker get catches out the gates, which was weird because he's got a little better connection with Cooper Rush because Ferguson missed 2 games with a concussion. But you get the Carolina Panthers. They ranked 28th versus the tight end, giving up 15.2, 32nd in the red zone, 56.2 yards, and an 80% chance of a touchdown. You have to love these numbers. But again, Carolina gets crushed by the run. That's why I love Rico Dowdle so much this week. Like, if you're watching this video right now, you need to find every single way you can to get Rico Dowdle into your lineup this week, no matter what, because the Carolina Panthers just get crushed by the run. Tight end number 14, Cade Otton. I mean, the matchup is really rough. It's been a different show since Mike Evans has come back for Cade Otton. I mean, he went from 20, 30, 20 to 8, 4, 6, and then 11 last week. He had a great week last week. He's always out there in a massive snap share at 90+%. He's the number 1 snap share tight end in the NFL. You have to like that. But still, you get the Chargers this week. The Chargers is a very good defense who also got Khalil Mack back last week. So they ranked 10th versus the tight end on the season, giving up 10.4. They're number 1 in the red zone. Number 1 by about a 0.5 margin per game, which is very, very good. 45.8 yards middle of the pack and a 10% chance of only giving up 1 touchdown on the year to the tight end. Really, really tough for Cade Otton in this matchup. I still like him because the volume is there in my top 14. But I'd rather start other players than him, though, at this point. Tight end number 15, Dalton Kincaid coming back off the injury, but you're also going to have Keon Coleman back. Amari Cooper's elevating Khalil Shakir. I don't know how much work he's going to get. I would really love him in this game if it wasn't his first game back off injury. And the over-under is 54.5. Like I said, you want every player in this game. I'm just tempering my expectations here with Dalton Kincaid because it's his first game back off injury. And the Detroit Lions guys are number 1 versus the tight end. They give up 7.6. They're number 6 in the red zone, 32.2 yards, and a 20% chance of a touchdown. Still, I throw that out the window because there's so many weapons for Buffalo and Josh Allen. It's just tough because it's his first game back. And whenever it's first game back, it's a little tempered. And it hasn't been the Dalton Kincaid season I thought it would be either way. Tight end number 16, Jawan Johnson. He found the end zone last week. I liked him as a sleeper play last week. It was a great call. Do I trust it with Jake Haener? I don't know, man. It's really rough with Jake Haener out there. I haven't seen it yet. 70% snaps, 72% the past 2 weeks as Taysom Hill is done. You have to like that. 7 targets, 5 targets. You like that. Floor of about 10 to 12 points, or 15 and 8, so about 12 points average here. That's not bad at all. You get the Washington Commanders. They're middle of the pack. They rank 15th. But since they switched to single high, their defense has gotten a lot better. At the beginning of the season, they were like bottom 30. So Dan Quinn really balled out defensively. Here's the head coach making a lot of great moves for the Commanders. And they give up 42.2 yards, which is about a top 12 defense overall and 50% chance of a touchdown. I mean, he's going to be out there. If you need to throw him out there, you can. I don't love it. Don't hate it. Cole Kmet coming in at number 17. Man, this guy, he's like a Cade Otton now. That's what he's become. So there's so many weapons in Chicago, right? You have Odunze, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen. Cole Kmet's kind of become the lost in translation guy besides week 12 versus Minnesota. And week 12 versus Minnesota was his only good game of the year where he played every single snap. They're playing Minnesota again. Do I trust it again? No. He says 0-5-7-3-0-4. That's the last 6 out of 7 games. That's terrible. Am I going to bank on one game because he hit on Minnesota last time? No, I am not. Now, Minnesota versus the tight end on the season right now. They rank right in the middle of the pack at 16, get up 11.5, 51 yards, which is bottom 15, and 20% chance. There's just too many weapons here. I do not like it with Cole Kmet. Dalton Schultz coming in at number 18, the weirdest tight end of the season. This is why I stayed away from him all year long. Last week, versus Jacksonville, which is the best matchup, like I said, your fantasy football pot of gold, was his only game with a touchdown, was his only game over 10 points on the entire year. That's it. So I know you're going to get Miami here, and you could look at Miami's defense and say they're bad versus the tight end. They rank 21st, giving up 12.8, but they're very good in the red zone, number 4. So very tough there. 56.2 yards, which is exactly middle of the pack in yardage to the tight end position, and 20% chance of a touchdown. I just never trust Dalton Schultz. One pop game. Don't get excited and throw him out there. He's been about a 4 to 5 point average all year long. Do not buy it. Now, that's the top 18. There's no one on a bye this week. So these next 19 or 20, I'm not going to really give a defensive breakdown because you don't really need it, because not many of these guys are going to be started when there's no buys happening. But I will rank them out. And if you have any questions from here from 19 to 30, you can always drop them in there and I'll give you whatever breakdown you want on them. I just don't think many of these guys are going to be starting, but I am going to talk about one that is really, really sneaky here. So before we get to it, I'm going to pull up my little page here. Okay. So when I look at 19, Noah Gray, been getting more involved. If you need to throw him out there, you can. I still don't trust it whenever Travis Kelce is out there. Travis Kelce is always going to be the guy. Now, number 20. This is my very interesting pick right here. Very, very, very interesting sleeper pick right here. So David Njoku is ruled out for this game. You also have Cedric Tillman ruled out for this game, right? So when you're looking at that, you're going to get the Kansas City Chiefs in this game, right? And this is the only guy I'm going to talk about for Jordan out of all of them. I really, really kind of think this is a very, very good sleeper play here. So Jordan Akins, the Kansas City Chiefs are dead last versus the tight end, 32nd, giving up 16.3 points, 78.1 yards, which is dead last, 30% chance of a touchdown. Now, David Njoku is out. Cedric Tillman is out as well. David Njoku in the past 2 weeks has taken 30 targets. That's 15 targets a game. Now, Jerry Jeudy is going to be the focal point for the defense to cover on. The Kansas City Chiefs are weak versus the tight end. If you need a dart throw play, Jordan Akins with Jameis Winston could be a great dart throw tight end play here. That's all I'm going to say. I don't trust it to smash it out there. It's just a dart throw. Say you lost Evan Ingram out for the season, or David Njoku's out and your league's very competitive, grab Jordan Akins. He will be a decent play this week. Now, we're going to rattle through the rest of these. And again, if you have any questions, just fire away. But I don't think many of these guys are going to be starting. So Grant Calcaterra, 21. Chika Conquo, 22. Tyler Conklin, 23. Brenton Strange at 24 with Evan Ingram out is another good pickup, but I don't like him this week. I like him next week versus Las Vegas. So make sure you're paying attention to that. If you're missing a tight end and you lost Evan Ingram for the season, pick him up for the next week. Noah Fant, 26. I want to see more of AJ Barner. 28-7. Mike Gesicki had his little hot run, became nothing. Jatavion Sanders getting worked in. He was getting better, then he got hurt. Stone Smart, people are asking questions about. I don't trust Stone Smart in any single way in the playoffs. And Daniel Bellinger coming in at 30. And, of course, George Kittle and Colby Parkinson already played. Hey! Thanks for rocking with me today, guys. That is the end of the episode. That is my Week 15 tight end top 30 playoff fantasy football rankings. Before we head out, guys, make sure you smash that like. Helps me out a ton. Make sure you hit that subscription. Turn that bell on. Again, I cannot thank you guys enough for all the support this season. It's been absolutely amazing. Again, I'll be live tonight on my guy Big Draft Energy show. Maybe even later tonight afterwards. I don't know. I got the family coming over. And then tomorrow morning, 7:30 to 9:30, I will be live taking every single question with BDE on my show or Big Draft Energy on my show. And we'll take everything you guys have. And if you guys can't make the shows, you can drop any comment you want down below. I'll try to answer them all. I might even answer them live on stream while we're at it, so we can talk about some of the questions on there. And that's it for me this week, guys. I got it all out next week. I'm sorry that I got it out late this week. I will get it out early before the kickoff for round 2 of the fantasy playoffs. It's just been holidays coming, everything going on. Didn't get it out to you guys, but I will. Again, smash that like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. SleezBall out.